Assalamu alaikum and Dzień dobry everyone. I didn't think about making a video this morning, but when I heard something in the news that totally disturbed me, I just felt like I had to. This morning I heard that when the whole economic crisis in the US started, people who are supposed to work for the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, were not necessarily asleep at the switch like some people might think. They weren't even asleep, but they weren't working. On the US taxpayers' dime, they were committing zina with their eyes. Zina, for those who do not know, is a term that can encompass adultery, undressing someone who is not your mahram with your eyes, anything of a sexual nature that is not permissible in Islam or in the other religions for that matter. In 2008, according to this report that was quoted by CBS News and also in Bloomberg, which is a financial news service, several top-ranking officials in the Securities and Exchange Commission were looking at porn instead of watching the financial markets when everything was starting to take a dive. This was on the clock. They were on quote unquote company time. Usually you think of a workplace that allows its people to have internet access on the job would either block certain sites or have disciplinary actions in place if they engage in internet activity that is not of a productive nature for the organization. But in this case, apparently that didn't happen. Either the punishments were not executed, or these people somehow managed to circumvent the blocks that may have been in place. And in one instance, according to this report I heard this morning, it was on an agency-owned laptop while this guy was traveling for work to do an investigation or some sort of matter for the SEC. He was looking at porn instead of looking at the financial markets or other data related to that particular assignment. So what does that tell about our society when people who are supposed to be the watchdogs of the financial system to make sure that the financial industry players are on the up and up, when these guys are not themselves on the up and up? When sex is more important than the economy, when personal gratification is more important than financial stability. I have no vested interest in the markets. I cashed out my IRA back in 2005 because I needed to replace the air conditioner in my condo and I was recovering from an injury. I could not afford to pay for that otherwise. So I have not been back in the market since, and at this point, I'm now again unemployed. I obviously can't afford to, and I'm not sure I want to anymore. I will stick to the little bit of gold and silver I own, and my condo, and my hope for Jannah, paradise, heaven. That's where I prefer to invest what resources I have. So anyway, what can we do about this? Besides pray for the guidance of these people who would rather look at nakedness than look after our economic welfare. This kind of act is not only immoral, it is against God's laws, and it frankly should be illegal if it isn't already. I mean, looking at porn on company time when it's government agents that are doing this? What is up with this nonsense? I just couldn't let this one go. I had to say something. I do not like hearing this kind of crap, but it is happening. And something needs to be done about it. Some people need to get their act together, get their minds out of the gutter and back on their job. Unless they lose their job, they don't have to get in the unemployment line like the rest of us. We need to do something. We need to pray for the guidance of this country and the world, in fact. We need to pray that people will stop putting a new title for the SEC. It should be the Securities and Exchange Commission, not the Sex Exchange Commission. That's my rant for today, and just a little something to think about. Assalamu alaikum, do widzenia, and yasumila.